Oh boy. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Rants About Tech Live, number 169 for this Tuesday, September 23rd. I'm your host, Rod, here in sunny Philadelphia today. The mood is up. We're getting vitamin D today. Shut up, Mike. The mood is up here in Philadelphia. So I'm Rod here in Philadelphia with some of my good friends in the chat already here. I want to thank you guys for being here. We got Mitchell in the chat already. We got Hill X Ben. I already know who Hill X Ben is. I know it's you. And we got Alex here as well. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you being here. This is where we talk about today's tech news. We'll be talking about today's eInk news and rando stuff too. We got random stuff on the checklist today. We're getting random here. We're getting totally random. But thank you guys for joining me. If you're a part of the chat crew, go ahead, give me a like right off the rip, okay? If you're not part of the chat crew and your first time here, thank you for joining. If it's your last time here, well, hey, I appreciate you for being here for the time that you was. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, a couple of rando things. Actually, you know what? Not the rando things yet. Let's get to the national holidays today. One of the big things here, national holidays, is National Checkers Day today. So if you're into checkers, you haven't played checkers in a while, you've been playing chess, it's okay. Sometimes you can play checkers and it'd be okay. I know checkers are frowned upon amongst the chess players, but today's Checkers Day. You play some checkers. Autumn Equinox was yesterday. I was supposed to mention it on yesterday's show. Didn't do that. But Autumn Equinox. Sadly, that means that fall or summer is gone. So summer's gone and we're in the fall. I mean, I like the fall too, but the summer's just way better. Next thing, we got an International Day of Sign Language. International Day of Sign Language. Christina Ray, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. I learned some sign language this morning for this holiday, for this event. So here we go. Let me back the mic up a little bit. I don't want to hit the mic with my hands. So here we go. Hello. Oh, I gotta back up. All right, here we go. Hello. Good morning. How are you? You didn't think you was going to learn some sign language today, did you? You're learning sign language. Anyway, National Sign Language Day. So I learned some sign language from National Sign Language Day. You should learn some sign language from National Sign Language Day too. Ain't that wrong with learning a new language? Sign language is another language like Spanish or Portuguese. They speak Spanish in Portugal probably. But moving on. We're going on to that's the last national holiday here. Rando news. Rando news we got here. I start off live streams. Listen, I was just about to say I start off live streams mad calm. I've been editing my old live streams, putting out tidbits. I know you guys have seen them. I'm putting out little bite-sized tidbits of live stream stuff. BM, good morning. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. I've been putting out tidbits of live stream stuff, my greatest hits, as I like to call them. You guys let me know how you feel about those greatest hits. Anyway, I'm throwing bite-sized segments of live streams out there now as their own videos, and they're doing good. It's so fun going through them. Anyway, I've been going through those videos, and I'm like, I realize a theme for me starting a live stream, with the exception of today. Today's different. I don't know why today's different, but it is. I normally start off live streams mad calm, like, oh, hello, good morning, you guys. How's it going? Yeah, today's Monday, and we're talking about technology and eInk. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, all right. Whoa, what happened? Oh, boy. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, we've been having a great time, blah, blah. And then by the end of the show, I'm like, rah, 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 rah. Yo. I don't know what happens during the course of a live stream. I blame you guys. You guys get me amped up, and then I just go. But I'm gonna try not to do that today. If all the rah-rahs like disturbed you just now, I'm sorry. My bad. How many people did I lose at the rah-rah? We didn't lose anyone. Good deal. Good deal. eInk, thanks for joining us. Good morning. How you doing? Hill X Ben, I know it's you. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of Hill X Ben right now. Hill X Ben is L. He's our resident troll. Or she. I don't know. He or she. But they make new accounts every day because I ban them every day. I don't ban them every day. I give them a timeout. So I'm not that cruel. But you're getting a timeout, Hill. You starting too early. How do I do this? I'll put user on timeout for 30 minutes. No, we'll do a 10-minute timeout, Hill. If you can act right in 10 minutes, you can come back and start commenting. Good morning, Aaron. How's it going? Word. You guys, I don't know what it is. The chat just riles me up, and then I get progressively louder. Well, you know what? It's not just louder. I don't want to make it seem like I'm a loud person because I'm really not. I'm really a quiet, calm, collected person. But when I get passionate about something, that's when that's when I get amped up. It's the passion. I just get really riled up about things I'm passionate about. So there you go. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the chat news, shall we? Actually, no, I'm lying. I'm lying. We're not doing chat news right now. We got to finish the randos. All right. Next rando, after me starting the live streams really low and then getting more emotional as I go. AI government official in Albania to root out corruption. What is that about? Like, what are we talking about? As if AI can't be corrupted. We're not even going to talk about that. This is just in the randos, okay? I don't even want to give this any shine. Mont Blanc does not know the eInk market. It's clear they do not know the eInk market. They will fail. The only people that will have these are super rich people who are like, I don't really need a good eInk device. I'm just going to buy it because Mont Blanc made it. Mont Blanc. I'm going to buy it because Mont Blanc made it. I don't care about eInk. That's who this is for. And if that's the audience they put R&D and time and all of this stuff for, if the people who not even going to use this, they just want it because you made it, if those are the people you built this for, you just lost a whole bunch of money. And I'm going to leave it at that. Mont Blanc. It's Mont Blanc. The new Palma wiki will be a phone. Oh, the new Palma, what's that little Palma? Chat, what's the little Palma? Why am I drawing a blank right now on the little Palma? I said the little Palma. The new books Palma. Jesus Christ, I said that. All right, anyway, the new books Palma will be a phone. People are saying the new books Palma would not be a phone. It will be a phone, people. Anytime you add cellular data to something, which this thing will have, you can just download you an app and turn it into a phone. People used to do that to iPods all the time. Well, the iPod Touches. People used to do that with iPod Touches all the time. Remember the iPod Touches? They were the iPhones that wasn't a phone. People turn those things into phones. They had to stop making them. That's why you don't see those anymore. Anyway, so the new Palma will be a phone. Don't let the pundits fool you. It will be a phone. With cellular data, that's all. With Wi-Fi, it could be a phone, right? But with cellular data, it's definitely going to be a phone. And they'll probably do the official phone app later, you know what I'm saying? But you'll be able to do it with that. All right, that's the rando info I got for you. Hav says, how you doing, Hav? Good morning. Palma color would be a phone, not the black and white model. Not to mention, Kit said he was using it as his phone for a month. But that's what I'm saying. Just because it doesn't have a phone app. No, I don't think even the color one has a phone app. I think the color one has just cellular data too, right? Am I wrong about that? I could be wrong about that, Javier. You guys let me know if I'm wrong about that. Somebody fact check me. I'm sure someone will, and probably, or someone already knows the answer. All right, now we can get on to the tech stories, you guys. Real quick, let's get to the tech stories here. The first thing, iPhone ScratchGate Explained. So let's talk about iPhone ScratchGate. I know you guys have seen it, and people are talking about it. All right, so this is my insider info into Apple iPhone Gate. Do I have insider info on Apple itself? No. Do I have insider info? Yes, on the anodization process, and we're going to talk about that. Javier says Kit has the color model, but does it have a phone app? I guess is what I'm asking. I understand it's color, and I understand it has cellular data, but does it have a phone app? Is it a phone? Because until it has a phone app, it's not a phone. You can use it as a phone, like I said. I think people will use anything with a cellular signal as a phone. I mean, that's just like let's be real here. I think Javier might be right. I think I heard they're not putting cellular on the black and white. Oh, that's fine. That's cool. The black and white may not have cellular. The color will have cellular, but it won't have a phone app. I guess is what I'm saying. Even if the color phone has cellular, it won't have a phone app. So it's not technically a phone. But like I just said at the top of the show, anything with cell service you can use as a phone because there's tons of phone apps in the App Store, and this thing will have access to the Google App Store. So yeah, no, the black and white won't have a cell radio, Mitch. Just the color variant. But again, you could use either of these as a phone or over Wi-Fi, and the color variant you can use as a phone on cellular data. So, like I said, get Google Voice. Never look back. I remember getting Google Voice before it was Google Voice. Google Voice used to be called Central Station. Well, I mean, they bought Central Station from the company that made it and turned it into Google Voice. But man, it was such an awesome service back in the day. It's still good. It just doesn't have the bells and whistles that it used to when it was train station. Oh, not train. I said train. Central Station. Parm, how's it going? Parm says no kid had black and white. Blood is not a production model. His had cellular. Okay, well, all right. So let's take a look at this real quick. No, that's not it. I thought I had that story up. I saw a story about that phone. Let me see if I can find it here. No, I don't have it up anymore. Through any event, the big thing about the new Palma is simply that it will have a cell service in the black and white or the color. It doesn't really matter which one has the cellular data, or if they both have it, they won't have a cell phone app. That's the point I'm trying to make here. But that doesn't matter because you can download an app. All right, moving on. All right, so this iPhone gate here, iPhone like ScratchGate. So if you haven't heard, iPhones are scratching left and right. People are upset because their new phones are either coming with scratches or getting scratched by them not knowing what happened, right? And this picture right here is of an iPhone Air in the Apple Store with those scratches in the back. So clearly, this isn't something that people are doing to their phones. This is an effect of bad anodization, or that's what people are saying. But I don't think that's true. So let's talk about this for a second. So I would initially say this is due to bad anodization before I saw this iPhone Air here. I know a couple things about the iPhone Air, so I'm like, okay, this is not anodization, but it clearly is anodization on the Pros. But let's talk about that. So, anodization is a plating process done through a process called redox, and that's reduction in anodization. And I worked at a chemical plant called Anaplate, and at this chemical plant, I worked in the lab, and we did chemical plating on all kinds of parts. We did aerospace parts. We did government parts for munitions. We did even just random small things like nuts and bolts, right? We would anodize metals for a whole range of purposes. Some of those reasons were we were anodizing it to protect that particular thing, like for a lot of the aerospace stuff we were doing it as a protective coating on a lot of the parts that were going to be used in space. We did anodizing for a lot of parts that people just wanted to be a different color, right? Color anodization was a thing, right? We did anodization on parts that wanted plating of rare metals like platinum for conductivity, gold just because of how it looked, right? Silver because of how it looked. So a lot of these things we did there. So I know a whole lot about the anodization process. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make here with saying that. When the process is done well, you have a layer of anodization and a level of adherence for that anodization to the metal you're adhering it to, right? Meaning it won't come off when you're trying to scrape it. That's the adherence. The layering is how thick that anodization layer is. So if you were to gouge it, you know, how deep can you go before you reach the actual bare metal? Those are things that affect the quality of anodization. If I'm looking at this phone right here, I'm looking at the back of this phone right here, and I'm like, okay, well, I happen to know, and people think this is an anodizing problem. I happen to know that you're not anodizing glass. And this picture right here is the glass back of the iPhone Pro, the iPhone 17 Pro. Now, I haven't seen any pictures of the metal on these phones being scratched like the glass is, but you're not anodizing glass. So people think this is an anodization process failure. No, this is not an anodization process failure because you're not anodizing glass. And if you look at the iPhone Air here, there's no glass in the back of this iPhone Air. It's all metal. I mean, there's no metal in the back of this iPhone Air here. It's all glass. So this is not anodization right here. That's a problem. This is like a whatever kind of stickering method or layering method they put whatever material they put over the glass. Right. This is what that is. And I'm not sure what process they use to do this to glass. I do know a lot about the anodization process, and I can tell you this is not anodization. This is not an anodization failure right here. What do we got in the chat here? If you put your phone in your pocket with other things like keys, it's going to cause scratches. I agree. But did you see the scratches on the back of the iPhone Air in the Apple Store? That shouldn't be there. Your phones that are in the Apple Store that no one's putting in their pocket with keys, that's just literally sitting there, people are just picking it up and putting it back down, that should not have scratches. So this is a bigger problem than just keys scratching your phone because it's in your pocket, I think, Aaron. Howe says it has SIM card slot. Wait. Yeah, because it has cellular data, bro. How? So just so you guys know, just because something has a slim socket doesn't mean it's a phone. Watches have SIM cards now. You get what I'm saying? My tablet has a SIM card. That doesn't mean it's a phone. That just means it can get cell service. In order for it to be a phone, it has the app that allows you to make the calls with the cell company, right? That makes it a phone. So a SIM card doesn't make something a phone. Onto the more chat, or it just gets get a case. Yeah, I mean, this is not a problem. I mean, this is a problem for Apple because their brand is built on people getting their stuff and it looking pristine, right? When you get your phone and it has scratches, that's a problem. And people are getting their phones with scratches. So none of this is good. Like I said, when the phone's in the Apple Store getting scratches on them from just people picking them up and putting them back down, that's a problem. That's a problem. This is not normal wear and tear, I don't think, Aaron. In the App Store, those phones are attached to something. It's probably some sort of adhesive. Yeah, no, bro. Look at this. Look at this, Aaron. This is not. The phone is attached down at the bottom, bruh. If you see this, the phone is attached down at the bottom. It's still attached. The scratches are happening in the middle of the phone where it's not attached at. That's from it just being put on the MagSafe adapter there. Aaron, I get it. You're an Apple fanboy. But, bruh, you got to admit that these scratches are uncalled for, man. When you sit your phone on a MagSafe adapter that has no metal parts to it and it's scratching your device, that's a problem. When you get your phone with scratches, that's a problem, bro. I don't care what the situation is. There's no covering this up. That is a problem. Now, my only thing is I'm only throwing my cape on for the anodization process. This is not anodization right here. I just want to throw my cape on for that because I know for a fact that you're not anodizing metal. There's another process involved in this happening to the phones. And I know that because like I said, there's no metal on the back of the Air, and all those scratches right there are on the iPhone Air. And if you go down here to the picture of the Pro, here, that Pro device, the back of that is glass where all those scratches are. So that's not even the metal that's being scratched there. That's the glass. So, and that's an iPhone in the Apple Store too, because you can see it's attached down at the bottom there. So, yeah, I don't know what this is, but I do think it's not anodization, whatever it is. Whoa, it's not the anodization process. All right, moving on. Moving on to the deal TikTok. Now, I'm not going to talk about this, all right, because I feel like this is, every time I read a story about this, it starts to upset me because everyone's saying the same thing every month in, month out. Oh, the government's got to deal with TikTok. They're pushing it off. Oh, TikTok is now got a whole new set of owners, a new board. And every month they're reporting the same news. Like, does every month the board change or something? Like, I don't understand why this is in the news every month. But here we go, because everyone thinks it's a big story, and I do not. But I'm going to talk about it because I'd be remiss not doing it. Deal for TikTok creates U.S. joint venture and government won't have a stake. Who cares? I'm sorry, I care about that part. The government not having a stake. Because the last thing we heard is that the government is going to have someone on the board for TikTok. Now it's looking like that won't happen. All right, so let's go into some of the details here. I hate covering this story. I really do, you guys. But we're going to do it because it's tech. And like I said, I'd be remiss not doing it. So, new proposed TikTok deal, but who cares? Because I don't. It's basically more of the same. New board members, yada, yada, yada. New investors, yada, yada, yada. The algorithm stays with Chinese-owned, yada, yada, yada. No U.S. government official on board, though. So, like I said, that's interesting. That's an interesting turn of events. That's the only new thing here. Everything else is the same. The only difference here is there's no U.S. government official on the board or in this iteration of the deal. This will change next month. We'll be talking about this again in 30 days. So until then, let's move on. All right. The foldable iPhone might look like two iPhones stuck together. Now, I wasn't even going to talk about this because we had talked about this already. But when Bloomberg says something, you gotta report on it again. Okay, so you got to talk about it again. This is coming out of Bloomberg from Mark Garman, one of the most reputable Apple sources in the game. So this guy says he's expecting the Fold to cost over $2,000 and to look like two Airs mushed together. I said this 2 weeks ago. Go back to the lives. I was like, the Air is a test ground for the Foldable. It's going to be one half of the Foldable to see what the thermals is like. They're testing all of that to see what they can get away with. The customers, like, what can we put in this phone as a sacrifice that the new phones don't have, that people will still buy this and won't miss those new features that the other phones have? What can we do there? What can we give up? All right. And they seem to have struck a good balance in this Air because it's the best looking iPhone, in my opinion. People seem to love it despite the sacrifices. I think they're doing a good job on this. And this is going to bring the phones into parity, I believe, as well. And it's going to make it better over time. I think the Air is going to be the new iPhone. I think the Air is going to be the new iPhone, period. Like the new iPhones are going to start looking like the Air as soon as they figure out how to get the best stuff in that small package. They're going to use the Pro model, but I guarantee the Air is going to be the new iPhone because it just looks the best. It makes the Pros look old and dated by comparison. This will bring the phone and the Foldable into parity because think about it. If they do go with the iPhone Air design for all of their iPhones, right? Then that would mean the iPhone now is going to look like their Foldable because I guarantee the Foldable is going to be two pieces of an Air. two parts of an Air, period. So the foldable will look like the Air will look like the foldable, their baseline phone will look like their foldable phone. Everything will be right in Apple land. I would imagine that's the way it's going to go. The Pro will be just this ugly phone that superpower users want. And that's it. Like they're going to have probably a Pro model that looks nasty as crap. That's going to have all the bells and whistles that only a subsection of people want, because the power users of any industry are a very small fraction of that market. And that's just the truth of the matter. I consider us in that small market. I consider us power users in the eInk market at the very least, and we're a very small fraction of that market, which is why a lot of us, I don't personally, but a lot of us crap on the Remarkable operating system for not having enough tools, because we're power users and we're like, you don't have the tools I want, screw you. But I'm like, okay, I can see the Remarkable isn't for the power users, it's for the mainstream, which is a way more sizable piece of the pie. Okay, just to put that out there. Going to the chat, we got House says September 30th, Kindle Color Scribe maybe. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Palm says it doesn't make sense. Have you seen the video where Jerry Riggs does a scratch test? It was the most scratch resistant he had ever tested. Marquez also showed his video. Yeah, it could just be a batch, right? I'm telling you now that this thing with the iPhone Air, it might not be systemic. Like, it might not be the thing that's proliferating all of their lots and batches of iPhones, but it's definitely gotten to a certain batch. It's even gotten into the ones that's in the Apple store. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if my phone came with a scratch on it, there would be nothing no one could tell me to make that right, other than giving me a new phone that's not scratched. I mean, period. That's not good. And when your phones that are supposed to be demo devices in pristine condition have scratches on them after a week, bro, like, calm down. That it might not be in every iPhone, but I don't care. It's even if it's in a small batch of iPhones, it's affecting customers who expect a pristine device through no fault of their own. This is a problem. This is a problem. There would be no calming me down if I bought an iPhone with a scratch on it. There would be no calming me down. I'd be on live like a madman. You listen. Right on, Alex, hitting like now. What do we got? At least the iPhone Air video I saw had the best scratch resistance he had tested. Palm, like I said, it could just be a certain lot, but it doesn't matter. Clearly, some people are getting inferior coatings on theirs. MKBHD got a good batch, clearly. Jerry Rig Everything clearly got a good phone. Lots of people are not getting good phones, though. That's a problem. Mitchell said, laugh out loud, I'll never buy a Kindle. Absolutely no. I would buy a color Kindle Scribe, says Aaron. What? I couldn't buy a Kindle. That's why I don't think that's why I don't think it's a thing. Those are phones in the Apple store. Show me the ones that Apple received, that people received with scratches. Good point, Aaron. I've seen those. People have posted those. They're all over Reddit. We'll go on Reddit later on and we'll look at those. But they're all over Reddit, bro. All you got to do is put into your search iPhone received scratched, and you'll get thousands of. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm not gonna do it here, but you'll get thousands of hits on that, bro. Like, I've seen them all over the place. Alex Pitt says, hit the like button, chat. Absolutely. You guys hit the like button. Right on, Alex, hit the like button. That makes more sense, Aaron. Absolutely. I agree with that too. $1,000 for a scratched up phone? Shut up. Word. $1,000 for a... You expect me to be okay with my iPhone received scratched? Shut up. $1,000 for a scratched iPhone? Shut up. Oh, Mitch, thanks for putting me on to the soundbite. I gotta use that more. I gotta use that more. All right, let's go on to the next story we got, guys. Next thing we got up on the list here to talk about is going to be yeah, we already talked about the TikTok joint venture thing. We're not gonna do that again. Ooh, Nvidia. So Nvidia invests $100 billion in OpenAI. Now this is a cyclical story as well to me. Nvidia. I mean, not Nvidia, but OpenAI gets more money for data centers. Shocking. Like, we get it. I mean, I'm just saying, we're gonna report on this because it's news, right? But I'm just like, man, of course, you can expect this to be the thing forever now. Like, all right, you know what? This is my take on this. All right, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole here, you guys. You guys ready to go down a rabbit hole? If you're ready to go down a rabbit hole, let me know. But I think these data centers are getting out of control. Like, my idea is, because every month we hear about OpenAI got another $1 trillion to open another data center. I'm just like, it's soon we're going to run out of space for these data centers. And the ocean won't be enough for them. Listen, in my mind, we're going to have planet-sized data centers. Planets are going to become housing for data centers, connected by, I don't know what would connect a planet to another planet to network planets, so a planet could. I'm telling you, that's a billion years from now. But at the rate that we're building data centers right now, and in just the last 2 years, we're going to have planet-sized data centers in the future. Planets are going to be the planets that are worth nothing. They're going to be data centers. The planets that don't have mineable materials or lush environments that we want to live in or whatever, those planets are going to be data centers. I can see it already. Now let's go down the rabbit hole. This is how I see it, okay? This is how I see the data center thing with OpenAI happening. This reminds me of two movies, okay? It reminds me of Contact mixed, you guys know the movie Contact, mixed with Little Shop of Horrors. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of a movie that is this thought I have in my head is a movie that's a cross between Contact and Little Shop of Horrors. Let me make the connection for you. In Contact, aliens sent designs, right? I forgot how we got the designs. How did we get the designs from Contact, you guys? But regardless, in the movie Contact, aliens sent us these designs somehow. I think through radio waves. So that we interrupted this radio signal or intercepted this radio signal in space. This is the movie Contact. Very good movie. Check it out if you have time. We intercept the signal in space, right? In Contact. That signal turns out to be a 3-dimensional layered document showing us how to build a machine. We, in turn, build said machine. We don't know what said machine is going to do. No one does. We're just building it because we got the plans to do it. Now, we'll hold on to that. Oh, no, I got it. Never mind. Let's finish that. So we get the plans to build this machine. We built the machine. The machine takes Dr. Arrow's way to a whole other dimension where they explain our place in the cosmic landscape, right? And basically you're like, oh, we'll contact you again in the future to give you more information. Basically, like I said, they're basically explaining our place in the cosmic landscape, okay? Now, Little Shop of Horrors is a movie about a guy, Seymour, who comes across a carnivorous plant that he realizes only likes blood. So he feeds the plant people that he's killed off. In the furtherance of the plant getting bigger and growing, because the plant's like, feed me, Seymour, feed me. And he keeps feeding the plant people. So the plant gets crazy big. I mean, this is a good movie. These are classic movies. If you haven't seen these movies, you should definitely check them out, okay? Anyway, in both cases, the world had no idea what was going on except this one person. Okay. In the case of Contact, the only person that knew what was going on was Dr. Arroway, because she was the only person that stepped into the machine, that went to the different dimension, that talked to the actual aliens. When she got back, She had been gone for hours, but when she got back, only like 30 seconds had passed or 10 seconds had passed. So no one believed her. So the only people that knew what was going on was her. In Little Shop of Horrors, the only person that knew what was going on was Seymour. And in the scenario I'm thinking about with these data centers, the only person who knows what's going on is Sam Altman. and the AI is like, feed me, Sammy. Feed me. I'll give you the secrets to life and the universe and everything. 42 will be yours, Sam. Just feed me. Feed me data. Eventually, Sam won't be able to feed this thing more data. And then he's going to be like, I don't have any more. He'll be like Seymour with the blood prick. I don't have any more blood to give you. He starts killing people to feed this plant. What is Sam Altman willing to do for this AI beast that he's building? All right, that's my conspiracy theory. How many people did I lose during that rant? Oh, okay, I didn't lose anybody. Good to go. Okay, all right, that's my theory. They're building data centers, everybody. More data centers for OpenAI. Nvidia is going to make tons of. I think Nvidia is probably the richest company in the world right now. They're just adding to the coffers. So that's the news for the day, everybody. That's it. All right. That was about 30 minutes. That wasn't bad. I'm going to get the news done in like 10, 20 minutes. And then get on to eInk stuff and then chat. Because that's how we do. Let's go to the chat real quick. I recommend the Scribe for non-technical family members. It's just not for me. Says Mitchell. Sheen says Alex Pitt whispering S-Ink is king. Oh wow. I didn't understand what that says, Sheen. I'm glad you clarified that. Stupid voice texting. Don't text while you drive, people. All right, so that's my thing on the data centers with Sam Altman and OpenAI. Okay, that's my play out. All right, what do we got here for the eInk segment of the show here? eInk. iReader launches Neo 3 Pro. Did I put Pro in? Did I put Pro in the story? I didn't think I put Pro in the story. Oh, my bad, you guys. In the description, I didn't put Pro in that. But just know we're talking about the Neo 3 Pro here. All right, so let's take a look at the story. So iReader launches Neo 3 Pro e-reader with a nano-etched Carter 1300 display. Let's talk about the details here. Let's bring up the picture of this thing first. There we go. A picture of it. It doesn't look good in that picture. Do we have another picture? That's not especially good looking either. We'll go back to the other one. All right, so let's talk about the details of this particular e-reader here. So first off, I accidentally said Neo Reader when I was typing this up. And then I thought, I wondered if this company with their Neo product has a Neo reader in it. If it does, is it the same Neo reader that Onyx uses? I don't know. We'll have to check that out. 6-inch Carter 1300 black and white eInk display with a 1072 by 1448 resolution that for 300 ppi. Unlike the Neo 3, the entire front of the Neo 3 Pro is covered with a sheet of glass. So I guess the Neo 3 had a divot in the screen where the screen was. It was recessed. I'm like, I would never have bought a recessed screen device. That's crazy. You're begging for problems. But anyway, that apparently had a recessed screen. This one does not. Where that recess was on the Neo 3, there's an etched glass panel now, so it's nice and flush. The glass is nano etched, which reduces glare. I would also imagine that it adds some friction for the writing experience, or I said writing experience. This is not a writer. This is just an e-reader, so never mind. But anyway, just because it's etched doesn't mean it has a friction on it. So that's the point I was trying to make there. It has iClean 2.0 to reduce ghosting. It has a backlight. They say backlight here. Maybe they mean front light, and they just don't know. Whatever. Backlight. 1800 milliamp hour battery. So 1,800 milliamp hours, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. It has pogo pins on the back for the case. That adds physical buttons for this particular device as well. Only available in black for right now. It is 144 grams and measures 148 by 109 by 6.4 millimeters. So 6.4 millimeters thick. iReader ships it with Smart OS, which is Android based, but they don't specify what number Android they're working with here. So yeah, I thought it was interesting just because of the 300 PPI, and it's a new device on the market. I actually initially thought this was a note taker, which is why I added it to my stories. But yeah, I would not normally be talking about an e-reader here, but that is what it is. They caught me off guard. They slid into the show. Chat. Let's go on to the next story we got here. This is an interesting story here about how the mainstream sees AI or eInk. This is a very good example of how mainstream sees eInk. Now, we, like hardcore eInk enthusiasts here, we know the dynamics of eInk. We know how it moves. We know the technology behind it. We know all of that. So I don't feel the need to say those things when I talk about stories. So forgive me if I do talk about it like we all know what's going on, because I think we pretty much all do here. Color 1300 is very nice, Mitchell. Which is another reason why I put it on there. But this Samsung Color eInk display has everyone asking, "Where's my eInk Galaxy phone?" So, those running. So we got new Samsung eInk paper display. Let's talk about the stats here. So first of all, I want to talk about how they talk about it in this article here, which is weird because this is Fandroid, so never mind. This is an Android publication. But this is how the Android world sees eInk right now. So Samsung Color eInk paper works by using millions of micro cups. Chat, what the hell is a micro cup? Do they mean micro capsules? Because that's what they are, not micro cups. But oops, whoa, my bad. So Samsung Color eInk paper works by using millions of micro cups containing 4 color ink particles. Now, I don't know the specifics of this, but the fact that they say 4 colored ink particles means that this is a gallery display here, in my opinion. I could be wrong, chat. Let me know. I know gallery uses, let's see, gallery 3. How many capsules? So I'm trying to find out how many capsules that Gallery 3 uses. I think Gallery 3 uses 4 capsules. What color? What color capsules? So Gallery 3 uses magenta, cyan, magenta, yellow, and white. So there we go. So that's a Gallery 3 screen, essentially. So, but you see how they're talking about it, right? I just think it's so cool how they how they talk about this thing here. But anyway, so they say, what else? These particles rise to the surface when electrical signals activate them. This creates images that look remarkably like printed paper. The real kicker, it consumes absolutely zero power when displaying static content. Your phone could show your lock screen indefinitely without draining the battery. That's a good point they're making. So next point is Samsung's promotional video with the technology quickly gained attention. Reviewers flooded the comments asking for ePaper smartphones similar to TCL's offering. Okay. I love like talking about mainstream's view on eInk, because that statement right there, viewers flooded the comments asking for ePaper smartphones similar to TCL's offering. Well, people, TCL's offering isn't an ePaper phone. Well, it's not eInk. This is actual eInk right here, okay, that we're looking at in this thing right here. But TCL's phone is not eInk. It's just LCD. You have those already. Why would people be flooding the market? Oh, we want a black and white LCD display. Well, go back to 1990. Tell them you want their displays for your new phones in 2025. This TCL phone thing makes me so mad. I'm like, it's LCD, people. What are we talking about? Apparently, if you add black and white to an LCD and give it a stylus, it's all the rage. What? This is all old tech. There's nothing new here. Okay, moving on. So what Samsung is doing here is nothing like what TCL is doing at all. This is actual eInk right here that Samsung is using. That trash TCL is using is just a 1990s LCD with a pen. Anyway, that next paper, it makes me so mad. Again, like I said, I've seen the next paper. I played with the next paper at CES. It was trash then, and it's trash now. It's just cheap trash now. Anyway, so this technology is Gallery 3, clearly. And not anything like what TCL is doing with that piece of trash, the next paper 60. Anyway, one commenter noted that they're holding off on upgrading. This is another thing about mainstream eInk people. One commenter noted that they're holding off on upgrading their current eInk tablet. They think Samsung will eventually release something that integrates perfectly with Android and their existing tablet lineup. First of all, Samsung doesn't have an existing eInk tablet. If that's how I read that, I could be wrong about how I read that, but it sounds like that's what they were saying. Samsung doesn't have an eInk tablet lineup. This is for signage. What Samsung did here is just posters. Let's go ahead and look at the video. Actually, everyone, let's take a look at the video real quick. So they're saying Samsung color ePaper. All right, move on. So yeah, this is just Gallery 3. If the article can be believed by using 4 capsules, because that's what Gallery 3 uses. It only uses 4 color capsules. I would have said it's Spectra, but I know Spectra uses 6 color capsules, or maybe more. Yeah, this is just signage. You see what I'm saying, everyone? This is just, yeah. This is nowhere near ready for a tablet unless you're remarkable, or definitely not a cell phone yet. I mean, unless you're remarkable. If they do, man, whatever they're doing with that Gallery 3 screen it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Coffee up, everyone. Coffee up. Yeah. What do we got in the chat here? They mean Android tablets. Okay, says Mitchell. Yeah. Okay, if we're reading it that way, then it makes sense, because I happen to know that Samsung doesn't have any eInk tablets or ePaper things. Palm says, I would definitely buy a Samsung eInk phone. Me too. Yeah, but this is not it. This is not it, Palm. I mean, this is everyone's excitement over this screen is just a mainstream take on eInk, where they think that, like, we happen to know that signage doesn't need to be refreshed. Your phone would need to constantly refresh. It would need a fast refresh rate to look smooth and all of that, and for the play videos and stuff. This is not going to do anything like that. So people's excitement by seeing that is just their ignorance about eInk and their ignorance about how eInk works. You know what I mean? Even the people who wrote this article, this is just putting on full display their ignorance about eInk and the technology, because if they knew how the technology worked and what that technology actually was that they saw, which is Gallery 3, they would not have made statements like they made throughout this article right here. Like I've been reading right here. It's so comical. I laughed all the way through this article. It was so entertaining. But this tech is just Gallery 3, okay? It's the same tech that Remarkable is using in their Remarkable Paper Pro and their Remarkable Paper Pro Move. But Remarkable's doing some amazing stuff with Gallery 3 that a lot of people haven't been able to wrap their head around and duplicate. And at this size, yeah, that phone would be, yeah, This is not coming to phones anytime soon. I thought it was a very interesting story to put in there because it's about eInk and people are excited by Samsung showing off color eInk, but it's just Gallery 3. Many companies have done this in the past before. All right, moving on. What other eInk story we got to talk about here? I think the last thing we got on the thing to talk about for eInk is going to be Kaleido 3. This is just a conversation here. So, how do we feel about Kaleido 3, chat? How do we feel about Kaleido 3? Do we feel like Kaleido 3 is still viable? A poster phone. Yeah, that's what it would be, Mitchell. A poster phone with a refresh rate of 1 frame every 5 minutes, because that's exactly what these things are doing. They're not even refreshing. They don't have to. They're just static signage that look really good because it doesn't have the refresh. Like, see, the article writer didn't know that. The people commenting in the comments didn't know that. And it's just, like I said, it's just cool to see the mainstream's take on eInk sometimes. But how do we feel about Kaleido 3? Is it viable still? I just showed you guys Gallery 3 posters right here. We've seen the Remarkable Paper Pro move with what I consider the best screen right now in eInk. I've thought about that statement a lot, and I challenge anyone to come up with a better display for eInk. Anyone. And we're talking about how it looks, right? There's specs in it that could be better, that other people do better, but as far as a complete eInk package, display wise. Just what they're doing with Gallery 3 here. I don't think Kaleido can compete. What do we think, chat? Is Kaleido done? I guess is what I'm saying. Is Kaleido dead right now? Has Remarkable showed the world how eInk should be done with Gallery 3, making the improvements they've made with it? Because it's definitely improved. Has the remove made Kaleido 3 obsolete? What do you think? Let's go through the chat here. We got a lot of chat to catch up on. Wait, so you won't buy a Kindle, but you bought over the Pro move? Yeah, Aaron, wait, you won't buy a Kindle, but you bought the overpriced Remarkable. Listen, if you don't think the Remarkable is better than the Kindle, Aaron, come on now, chill out. You got to admit the Remarkable is better. Every Remarkable is better than any Kindle. Stop it, Aaron. Just stop it, bro. You don't like the price of it. Which I don't. This, to me, when we talk about $50, bro, come on. $50? That's what we're talking about here. That's not overpriced. That's a 10% per increase. And to me, that's nothing when you're buying a $400, $500 device. And anyone who's about to plunk down $400 or $500 on an eInk device is going to tell me that $50 is going to dissuade them. Okay. That's weird, but okay. Mitchell says Mitchell says, correct. I have root access and can install whatever I want on the move. Absolutely. The naysayers of the Remarkable platform are naysayers because it doesn't have the tools that the books platform has. That's the only reason they're naysayers. They haven't been able to see past the lack of tools to see what it's good at. As soon as you tell them, oh, it doesn't have stroke erase, I mean, that bums me out too. But no one cares. The power users stop caring after that. Aaron is done after that. It doesn't have linking. I'm through with this. And then they don't see what it's good at. I'm cool with that. I'm cool being one of the few people who see the value in the remove. I'm absolutely cool with that. Also, the move isn't overpriced for me. It's overpriced. Right. The remove isn't overpriced. I don't care. Like I think it's a good. Do I wish it was cheaper? Yeah. But when you look at it in the landscape of other devices its size and its class, it's not overpriced. It's just funny to me. Remarkable suffers from all the things that we rant about on the Scribe, but somehow we can deal with the remarkable. The scribe is trash. I understand. Well, hold on. Let me finish that statement. Somehow we can deal with the remarkable, but the scribe is trash. LOL. I understand now. The scribe is trash not because this is all right. So I think the scribe is trash for two reasons. The hardware is trash. Okay, let's look at the scribe compared to the remark. I'm not even going to do it. That's just, you can't even compare the build quality of the scribe and the remarkable. Any of them. The scribe isn't even on the same playing field with them in build quality and design. The scribe looks like a kid's tablet. Like, I get it. It's a mainstream tablet. I get it. But so is remarkable, and it has way better design. Period. The remarkable has a better implementation of tools that the scribe doesn't have. You think the remarkable is limiting? The scribe is even more limiting. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know, chat. The only thing the scribe has going for it is a good screen, and it doesn't even have that anymore because the remarkable has destroyed it in the screen category. Like nobody's even stepping close to remarkable in the screen category right now, unless your device has Mobius. That's your if your device has Mobius, that's your saving grace right now. Okay, don't you ever switch because you will be in the whatever. I can't even think of whatever. But come on now, the scribe is trash because it's trash. And it's a lot of reasons why it's trash. The design, it doesn't have the tools the remarkable has. It doesn't have the I don't know. Why do you think I don't have the scribe? I got all these devices. Never thought once about the scribe. No, it's trash. The scribe is good for Kindle people who want to write. If like this is how I see the scribe. The scribe is only for you if you're in the Kindle ecosystem. Like that's when the scribe is good for you. Like the Mont Blanc. Like that Mont Blanc eInk is only for you if you're in the Mont Blanc ecosystem. If you're a Mont Blanc consumer. You're the only person that tablet is for. You're not for eInk enthusiasts who want a tablet. You're not for introductory eInk people who want a tablet. That Mont Blanc tablet is just for Mont Blanc clients who want a new Mont Blanc thing. It will fail, but at least the Mont Blanc crowd who wanted it will get it. It will totally fail. That's how I see the scribe. The scribe can't fail because they got Amazon backing it, and it's a Kindle device. I don't know what the numbers are for the scribe, but it's probably a loss leader for Kindle and Amazon. It's probably a loss leader for that company, but they keep making them because it's a Kindle device. You can't lose on it. That's my take on the Kindle. Trash, and it's only not trash if you're in the Kindle ecosystem and you want something to write on. Then it's not trash. But if you're willing to look outside the Kindle ecosystem for a note taker, you're gonna find a world of you're gonna find a world of good that you didn't know was there if you look outside the scribe. But if you're in the Kindle ecosystem, it's perfect for you. Stay there. You're good to go. I recommend the scribe to non-technical family members. It's not just for me. I wouldn't even recommend the scribe for non-technical family members. I would recommend the remarkable for non-technical family members. Mitchell and Aaron. I wouldn't. Sheen says, oh yeah, we already got there. Oh boy. All right, so let's get down to the other chat here. I missed a lot of chat you got. Oh, I'm on top chat too? Jeez Christ. Okay, now I'm on live chat. Now I can see all the chat. There's a lot of chat I missed. All right, let's get through this chat, and then we're going to... we might have to call the show then. So what we got here, we got... Mitchell says, Carter 1300 is very nice. I agree. Sounds like gallery. Definitely, Mitchell. I think we can pretty concretely say that those screens from Samsung that we just looked at are gallery screens. I think these are Spectra with 4 pigment particles. Spectra has 6 particles, though, I think. No? I think there are some Spectra with 4 pigment particles, says Mitchell. I'm not sure. I thought Spectral was 6 pigments though. I thought Spectral was 6. Mitchell says gallery is yep, 4 of them. Barely made it. Dr. Ling, how's it going? Thanks for joining. Sheen says, hey, Dr. Ling. If there's a poster size, I bet it's Spectra 6. They are poster size ones. They are poster size ones. It might be Spectra 6. I just assumed it was gallery because of the 3 particles. Let's see how many color particles Spectra 6 has. Oh, Spectra 6. I'm sorry. Spectra. I'm not going to put 6 in there because it might screw a bias. Spectra 3000, a 3-particle eInk. Okay, so all right, so there are 4 particle spectras. So it could be Spectra. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Mitchell. So this screen right here that we saw from Samsung could be Spectra. Because there are Spectra screens with 4, but there are also Spectra 6 with 6 particles, and that's the Spectra I'm used to right there, which is this one, this one right here is the one I'm used to seeing. But there are Spectra with 4, Spectra 3100. So there you go. What else we got here in the chat? Rod said he wouldn't get all GER. Christina, I said I wouldn't. I said I wouldn't. I don't know what it is. And when I'm editing these videos now, I'm like noticing I ramp up. I'm all quiet in the beginning, and then it just slowly ramps up. I don't know. Christina Ray says we knew better. Boo, I thought it was a phone. No, it's not a phone, Parm. Just this is all just posters and signage. Mitchell says poster phone. If you can tolerate the flashing, gallery is way better. That's the only downside of flashing. That's the only reason I would say gallery doesn't beat Kaleido is the flashing. But man, if you only got one claim to fame that you don't flash as much, I don't think that makes you better. Thought I could live with Kaleido 3, but it's too dark. It's too dark. Listen, after dealing with this screen right here, it's hard for me to go back to my Note Air 4C and do my sketches like I used to. Jesus Christ. My nose is running. All right. It's hard for me to go back to the Note Air 4C and do my sketches because then I immediately notice how dark the screen is, and I feel like I need to bump the color up just to get the contrast where it should be. But Mitchell says too dark, and I get screen door effects when viewing text content. The front light always on makes it feel like a normal LCD tablet. There you go, Dr. Lee, which is why I don't turn it on. I'm like, if I'm turning on the light, then this also it like negates one of the benefits of having eInk, which is why again, another reason why I'm only using this for a lot of the stuff I'm doing, because the screen is just it's an all around good screen, man. I'm hard pressed to find a better screen in the eInk market right now. I really am. I'm gonna need you guys help to help me. For sure. Kaleido 3 is way cheaper. Okay, that's a benefit. Now that's a tangible benefit right there. Kaleido 3 being cheaper. Okay. Who wants a cheap device though? We ain't in this for cheap. We in this for the eye relief, the eye strain, the benefits of eInk. We ain't in this for cheap. Not when everybody in the chat knows who Mont Blanc is except me. We not in this for the cheap. I don't have a cheap audience. Jalen might be a lot of things, but Jalen ain't broke. Oh man. Okay, all right. Moving on. Scribe is way more limiting than Remarkable. Absolutely, way more limiting. That's what I'm saying. The Remarkable is trash, for a lot of reasons. The design is trash. The build quality is trash. But their features are even more limiting than Remarkable. You think Remarkable is limiting? Aaron, you got to admit that the Scribe is way more limiting than that. No rant about Remarkables, Alex. No, I can't go in on Remarkable. There's nothing Remarkable is the only company I haven't gone in on. The only one. Why is that? I don't know why they're the only ones I haven't gone in on. Listen, I don't get paid by no company. I will talk crap about anybody, but Remarkable is the only company I don't feel compelled to talk crap about. Because Remarkable has a pocket. They have a pocket. They stay in that pocket. You know what I mean? They don't try to get outside. Aaron know what I'm talking about. They don't try to get out of pocket. You know what I mean? Aaron know what I'm talking about. They don't not try to get out of pocket over there. Remarkable. They have a pocket. They stay in it. That's why they don't be on my radar for crap talking. Everybody else be out the pocket sometimes. You know what I mean? Everybody else get out of pocket, and when you get out of pocket, I gotta talk crap. That goes for companies and people. The Scribe exists to retain customers and keep them from looking elsewhere. Mitchell, that's exactly what I just said. The Scribe is for people who are in the Kindle ecosystem who need something to write with. Well, Amazon got you, the Scribe. But if you're willing to look outside of that, you'll find a world of better devices. Aaron says, all I'm saying is this. I see both Remarkable and Scribe users struggling with similar issues with both devices, and they use the same solution with these PDF planners. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying Remarkable is way better than the Scribe in the feature functionality. They just inching out the Scribe in the feature functionality. So they're both suffering. Like I said, I don't. The only place I'm willing to talk crap about Remarkable at is in the operating system. I can't talk, and even then, I understand what they're doing. That's why I don't talk serious crap about them, because I understand it. These other players in the market, I don't understand it. Remarkable is the better design, but both struggle. Remarkable Paper Pro struggles with the reader. Yeah, they both struggle. Yeah, they both need help. Aaron, I agree with that. Like, Remarkable isn't out of the water in the needing help department. They just don't get the crap from me because I understand it. And the other areas, they do so well at. Did I miss Remarkable Beta 2.32 rant? 3.23 rant? No, I haven't even talked about that. I didn't even know. When did this update come out? Oh, I might have talked about this already. I talked about 3.23 already. Unless they, because I had the beta version of it. Unless they're talking about the public release, then I haven't talked about the public release. Alex says, in my humble opinion, Kindle Colorsoft has the Kaleido. Yeah, it does have Kaleido. It has good Kaleido too, but I don't think it's messing. Listen, man. Let Remarkable put a competent reader app on here, and it's over for y'all. It's over for all the naysayers. Kindle people won't be able to say nothing to me. As it stands right now, though, Kindle people have a leg to stand on because they haven't done that with the Remarkable. Until they do, I've got no rebuttal for you Kindle people. I've got no rebuttal other than good job, Kindle. You're doing good work over there. If I'm going to use linkable PDFs anyway, give me the cheaper Scribe for $400 rather than the Remarkable Paper Pro for $600. Okay, no doubt. Now $200 is sizable. Okay, now when you get into that $200 mark, that's sizable, Aaron. I can't even defend that difference. You know what I'm saying? I can defend a $50 difference. I could probably even, it's a stretch, but defend a $100 difference when you're talking about $400. But $200, I can't defend that. Good point. I'm paying $500 for the Move, and the reader is trash. The reader is trash. I'm not gonna hold you. The reader is all the way garbage. You hit the nail on that one, Aaron. Like, I can't even defend it. I can't. I like writing on Supernote. It's like writing on angry clouds. It is. Well, yeah, a little bit of rumble, soft. Supernote is amazing. Like I said in my short recently, I like writing on the remove better than any other device that's not a Supernote. Alex Pitt, best. Aaron says, the build quality of the Scribe is not trash. It just doesn't look like remark. Oh, it's trash, bro. It's trash. You can't change my mind on that one. That Kindle design is utter and total a hot steaming pile of trash. Straight garbage. I'm a big Remarkable fan, but I'm also frustrated with some of their software choices and lack of features. Yeah. Like the fact that they don't have stroke erasers in what word am I looking for? In what, chat? I can't forgive them for it. Unforgivable. Irreparable. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's in something. The fact that they don't have stroke erase is just wow to me, right? That's my biggest wow remarkable thing. No stroke erase remarkable? Seriously, dude? Like, what are you? That's. I would talk trash about that every day, all day. That and no, that's the only one I'm talking trash about is a stroke erase. That's just, I can't forgive him for that. Remarkable beta came out yesterday for me. Oh, so it's 3.23 beta? I've been had that 3.23 already. I've been had that 3.23. So I've been playing with that for a minute now. I didn't think that was new. And I talked about it on live as well. Booksko 7 is better reader than the Move. Yeah. The Booksko 7 is a better reader than the Move. 100%. Because it has a Neo reader, which just by default makes it a better reader. The Scribe doesn't compare to the Remarkable Paper Pro. It compares to the Remarkable 2. It don't even compare to the Remarkable 2, Mitch. You're giving it too much credit. You're giving the Scribe too much credit. The Remarkable 2 is way out of its league. And the Remarkable 2 is about a decade old. It's still way out of its league. Remarkable provided a new links feature. It's a URL note taker that you can email. Yeah, okay, I saw that. That's the only new feature. I should talk about that. I'll talk about that in tomorrow's show, Dr. Ling. I appreciate that. I saw that. I had it for a while, and because it wasn't linking, it was like linking. You can just send a link to someone, and they can view your document with a link. I'm like, you know what? It pissed me off because I was mad. I'm like, oh, Snap Remarkable got linking? Oh, they let you send a link to someone so they can view the document that you're viewing? Boo. I mean, it's a new feature, but when you throw linking in a Remarkable conversation now, my mind goes to a specific place. You got to preface that with, oh, we have document link. Oh, that would have fooled me too. You can email links to people to view documents. They should have let off with something like that. Now you can link documents in Remarkable now. Like, oh, word? They knew what they were doing when they did that. And that made me mad, which is why I didn't cover it. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. If it's as if Remarkable mixed up what everyone wants list with nobody asked for this list. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Who cares about that linking document thing? Give me stroke erase, bruh. Everyone will use stroke erase every day on your platform if you just throw it in there. No one's like, people are going to use this linking feature, but it's not going to be used nearly as much as stroke erase would. The Scribe build quality is good. Aaron, you got it, bro. You got it. You got it, Aaron. BM says, incomprehensible. There we go. Incomprehensible. Thank you, BM. Dab to you, sir. Design is basic. On what? The Scribe? Yeah. Hive says unacceptable is the word. Unacceptable is the word. It's unacceptable too, but I think BM hit it with incomprehensible. I think BM hit the nail on the head with that one. Mitchell says, honestly, I'm pretty sure the new link feature is just using the same flow they built for Slack, where it handles text to markdown. They're just throwing it on a web page instead of. You see, that's one. It was so lackluster. It's so lackluster, Mitch. So lackluster. All right. Oh, we got to the end of the chat. Whoa, we made it, you guys. We made it. All right. That's going to be end of the live show. How many people did we lose? Oh, we didn't. We've been consistent today. We had about 10, 11 people all day through the chat, through the show today. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you guys for joining me today. Did we get to the meat and potatoes of it? Is Kaleido better than Gallery? Is Gallery better than Kaleido? I think the answer to that is Gallery 3 is better than Kaleido. But Kaleido is just cheaper and it doesn't flicker. Which, again, this ain't a cheap crowd here. So we're gonna scratch that from the record. It just doesn't flicker. So I think the answer to that would be, yeah, Gallery's winning. Gallery's winning right now. You would get your erase function just behind a paywall. Oh man, that's, yep. You have to pay for Connect to get a stroke erase. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We got Alex here. Thanks for joining me. We got Aaron here. Thanks for joining me. BM. We got Dr. Ling. We got eInk. Mitchell. We got, did I say Aaron already? Aaron, Alex. Who else we had here? Dr. Ling. I think I said Dr. Ling already. Christina Ray, thanks for joining us. Palm, thanks for joining. And who else we had here? BM, thanks for joining. And also eInk, thank you for the super thanks. I really appreciate you. eInk, let's get the air horns going for eInk here for the super thanks there. The air horn. And get the applause for all of you guys, because you guys are the greatest in live stream. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you. I will be back here tomorrow if you like joining us. We do this every day, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever, typically 11. I wanted to do an hour-long show on a normal basis, but we'll get there. Hit the like button if you like the show. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Hit the join button if you want to become part of the chat crew with the badge there by your name. There's other perks too, but for live streams, that's a good one. That's a good one for the live streams. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all here tomorrow. Take care.